I have a friend, her name's Faith. She's getting married in Pennsylvania. And you know what she used? The knot, because everyone uses the knot. And Mr. Timothy Chi, he is the Chief Executive Officer at the Knot worldwide. He is a tech industry visionary who transformed the Knot worldwide into a global wedding planning brand in 16 countries. His leadership enabled couples worldwide to enjoy life's biggest moments through the Knot worldwide suite of lifestyle brands. Timothy's impressive commitment to making wedding planning easy and accessible for every couple is unmatched. And so we're going to hear from the visionary himself, Mr. Timothy Chi. Come on over. Welcome to the podium. I'm not kidding, though. Everyone uses the knot. We know that.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here just among all these great entrepreneurs, small business owners, and all the other distinguished guests. Pull this up a little bit. And again, thank you to the Chamber for this opportunity. So Cindy sent me like, 8 different topics to talk about. And I selected none of them because we're entrepreneurs and we're not good rule followers. So what I decided to do is just share a little bit about my journey. So I've had 3 jobs in my life, just 3. And I've been quite blessed, candidly, very, very lucky along that journey. And when I was just reflecting back about those 3 experiences, one of the things that really came to mind was just how much of an influence my parents had on me during these very formative years growing up. My parents immigrated here from Taiwan in the 70s. And they really instilled a bunch of values on me that I think really drive who I am today. So my parents were small business owners. My dad was an architect, my mother was a real estate broker, and as small business owners, my childhood after school was really spent being picked up and then going to their work. I would sit on my dad's drafting table and try to do my homework, and I'd really wait for the day to end, and then I would go home. We'd all go home together. And then as I got a little bit older, I got really into computers, and I became their first tech support person. I was figuring out how to get them connected to the internet, buying computers, hooking up a network, making sure their printers worked. And really what I learned from that experience, now that I think back on it, is just what it looks like to be a small business in the United States of America. I mean, it can be quite hard. You really need to do a lot of things. You need to have perseverance and resilience and commitment, dedication, and passion for what you do. So now onto my 3 jobs. My first job was in high school. I grew up in Southern California. And in Southern California, we really like clean cars, and I thought I was really good at washing cars. And so me and my best friend, Mark Reynolds, we pooled all our allowance together. We got all this equipment, and we opened a car wash business. By car wash business, it was like on our parents' driveway. And nobody showed up, so utter complete failure. And it was really just a big lesson in that just because you're good at something doesn't mean the world cares about it. And so just tuck that one away around sales and marketing. But my parents, I just was really thankful. They were very supportive of me wasting all of my savings and kind of learning that experience. My second job was in college. I started an ed tech business. I met a couple of my college friends our freshman year. And my whole life, my parents had really conditioned me towards being a doctor or an engineer or something. I was actually accepted, and I was on the engineering path. And this time came around when it was time to graduate, and my college friends and I decided to start a company, an ed tech startup. And I remember deciding that I really want to do this. So I called my parents up, and I said, so Mom and Dad, listen, I know you've paid for 4 years of college at an Ivy League institution. I've worked really hard at this, but I'm going to go start a company with these 6 people that I met. And I'm not going to go interview. I'm not going to do any of that. So there was a lot of crying. And after I started crying, my parents actually said something that really stuck with me throughout this day, which they were actually quite supportive. They said, Tim, now's actually a really good time in your life to take a risk. Now's the time to really just go for it. And that company turned out to be actually a local education technology company here called Blackboard, which we had the pleasure of taking public in 2004. And then, so my third and final job, just as I wrap up here, was a startup called Wedding Wire. And that was actually started by four co-founders. One was me and three other Asian American co-founders. We started in my living room here in Chevy Chase, Maryland. And we've built that company together over almost 2 decades now. We get the pleasure of serving millions of couples every single year across the world in 16 countries and helping them plan their big special day. And most importantly, connected back to how I grew up, we get to help with several hundred thousands of small businesses around the world be more successful as well. Our company has over 2,000 employees. We did about $400 million in revenue last year. But perhaps the thing that I'm most proud of is something that my parents told me, which is always try to build something that's durable, that's valuable, that makes an impact, and something you can be really proud of. And one of the things that I'm really proud of about our company is we've been profitable for over a decade now, and what that means to me is that we get an opportunity to invest back in our company, back in our team members, and back into the wonderful community that that supports us. So just to wrap up here, my daughter, Mara, where is she? Oh, she's right there. My 12-year-old daughter, Mara, is here today. I brought her along because I just really hope that I can be half as supportive and impact on her life as I was for my parents were for me. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you again to the Chamber, and of course, thanks Mom and Dad, wherever you are. Thank you, Earl.
So we're going to start with the Not Worldwide. And I do want to mention, I did text my friend Faith. I was like, I'm going to your wedding next month. You're using the knot. The dude who started it is right here. And he's about to give a speech.
You already heard enough from me tonight. Thank you to the Chamber for the award.